Hello everyone, and welcome back to Bitwig Studio and Music Production. This is lesson 3.43, and you've probably guessed that this is what's to come. I'm going to give you another creation-based idea for a project. Basically, all I'm going to tell you are the parameters of that assignment, and then if you want to go out and give it a go, feel free to do so. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's really not a requirement in any way, shape, or form. However, that being said, I do find that by sitting down and doing these, even without a clear goal in mind when you sit down to make something, you're going to become very familiar with these effects and what exactly they're capable of doing, and more importantly, how they sound and how they sound in conjunction with one another. So for this particular idea, what I'd recommend you do is take just one sample. You can make as many variations of that sample as you want. You can always use the bounce features and anything that we've looked at so far in these videos. And then you have access to the time duration effects and you have access to the frequency effects that we've just covered. If for some reason you're confused about how any of these effects work, or if you want maybe a couple of ideas, feel free to leave any comments below and I'll do my best to help you guys out. This is what I'm going to now be setting my mind to for the next week or so. And I know this can be very difficult because most of the time when you sit down in front of the computer and you open up your digital audio workstation, you have a production in mind. So you're probably working in a specific style and you have an idea of BPM, you have an idea of key, you have an idea of chord progression, you have an idea of arrangement. So far in all of these projects, when I've sat down and opened them up, I've started with a complete blank canvas. All I've known and all I've had to decide on from the beginning were my samples. And then from there, it was just like all of the additional parameters were my playground. And I knew that I'd have to really be creative and really think if I was going to put something out that was interesting and that wasn't just the samples played back in a different order. So that's what I'm hoping you can get out of this. It's a great creative exercise. And the truth is, whether you're just opening up a DAW for the first time or you've been doing this for months and months, you can really get something out of this, and it really stretches you and it really makes you think. And that's what this is all about. I really want you guys to just have fun and to be able to express yourselves creatively. At some point, we'll get to a place where we are talking about production and we're thinking about some of the actual ethics and guidelines that are going to drive us when we're making certain decisions. But for now, these effects, there are no rules. There is no one telling you that you can't put a reverb over 50% on your insert. There's no rule saying that you can't, use a resonator bank into a resonator bank, into a resonator bank, into a chorus, into a flanger, into a delay. There's none of that. Okay, so I want you guys to just have a ton of fun and really listen to what's happening. Not so much care about any rules that you've read on the internet, because rules are meant to be broken, especially when we're talking about creation and being creative. I was telling you guys before, I don't like to use the words good or bad whenever we're talking about sound or music because everything around us is vibration. But at the same time, I get bored a lot when I listen to music, and that's the one thing I hate. So if I listen to something and I'm not bored, because it's that experimental and it's doing something different, I'm going to be hooked and I'm going to absolutely love it. But even if something is produced super slick and super perfect, if I know what's going to happen in the track before it happens, I'm probably not going to like it too much. So just my opinions, my philosophies, please do not take it as though you have to agree with that. You really don't. But I thought I'd throw that out there. We're getting closer to our 100th video, and when we get to video number 100, we are going to take a time out and do a little bit of a review, and again, talk a little bit about philosophy and a little bit about motivation, and to me, the things that are most important when it comes to being a music producer or being a sound artist. Because more than anything else, it's about that motivation. It's about getting up and being able to open up the software, which sometimes can feel like the toughest thing in the world to do. So I hope you guys have enjoyed our discussion on these frequency-based effects, and in the next lesson, you'll get to see what I was able to come up with. If you saw the last video, you probably have a pretty good idea of what I'm about to do. Thank you so much for taking a watch, and I hope everyone has a good time and lots of fun working on this, and take care until the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.